Moving into verb conjugation, we're working with the present tense, but a key concept is understanding what is your subject. Because in Spanish, the ending on your verb is always determined by who your subject is. And getting into subjects and finding out or realizing how they affect the verbs, one of the key elements to that is subject pronouns, which we did in last week or 2 weeks ago. So let's go back over those again. All right, subject pronouns. Pronouns are just words that replace names, okay, in this context. So I would be yo, which you should have. You is a little more complicated because there are two different ways to saying it in Spanish. Tú, if you're talking to a friend, a classmate, family member, so forth, or usted. So we have yo for I, tú for you, or usted if you're talking to a teacher or talking to the principal or your boss or a stranger. And then for he is él with an accent mark, and she, ella. With the word for we have two options in Spanish. Nosotros. And nosotros, we would call it the masculine form, but it refers to we, that is all guys or a mixture of guys and girls. If it includes one guy, if the we you're talking about includes one guy, then it has to be nosotros. It could be 99 girls and one guy, but you need to use the word nosotros for we. Nosotras means we, but all the people included are all girls. Okay? The same thing for they. Ellos and ellas. Ellos is they, all guys or a mix of guys and girls. Ellas is also they, but all girls. They, the girls. Okay? And then we had for you, one person, you had to choose between tú and usted. For you all, or you, but more than one person, we do have two forms. Vosotros, which would technically be the plural for tú, which we're not going to use, and ustedes. So ustedes is what we're going to use all the time if you're talking about more than one person. If you're talking about you all, the teachers, you would use ustedes. But if you're talking about you all, the students or classmates, it would also be ustedes. Now, these are the subject pronouns. Let's look at some other options. If we're talking about a singular subject, it's pretty clear. You have yo, you have tú, and we looked at our pronouns, él, ella, and usted are all grouped together. But also, instead of using a pronoun, you could say Franco, or you could say Luisa, if you're talking about one person, that guy, or that girl. Okay? Now, with plural nouns or plural subjects, we have a few more options. We have two ways of saying we, nosotros and nosotras. But then you can't say Franco y yo. Franco and I. That's the same thing as we, even though we don't use the word nosotros there, Franco y yo, we're going to end up using the same verb form because it's basically talking about the same idea, we. Some people get confused with tú y yo, you and I. Put those together. What does you and I mean? What's one word to say that? You and I, we. So it would fall into the nosotros and nosotras category. Okay. Then down below, plural, ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Another way of saying, if you don't use a pronoun, you might say Franco and Luisa. That's the same group of people. Or Franco and you, Franco y usted, or Franco y tú. That's the same thing as you all. So that would be ustedes. So what does that mean? Even though in this bit, I'm not going to get into the verbs, let's look at how our subjects are divided. So singular, we have yo, first person. That's one group. That's the only person in there. Tú, another group. Él, ella, usted, Franco, or Luisa would all be one group and all use the same verb form. Plural, nosotros, nosotras, Franco y yo, tú y yo, all fall into the same group, we. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, Franco y Luisa, Franco y tú, Luisa y usted, all of those fall into they or you all.